everyone, this is Ingrid from Old Town Charm, and I am making another hot process. You've seen this one before. It's my usual pomegranate, but I'm doing step by step. I have my soap calc paperwork here and all my ingredients. So let's get started. I am first adding my liquid oils, which consist of olive oil, sweet almond oil, and castor oil. These are my liquid oils. Then I'll be adding my hard oils. I highly recommend you use soapcalc.com. It will give you the right amounts in pounds, in ounces, and in grams of all your ingredients. And it will let you know how many lye you use, how many purified water. Now here I am going to be adding my hard oils, which also consist of coconut oil and sustainable palm oil. Those are the only 5 ingredients that I use. So it will be olive oil, coconut oil, then sustainable palm oil, then castor oil, and then sweet almond oil. And I went by the first ingredients to the least ingredients. So when you see a list of ingredients, a label, when you see the first ingredients, that means that one is the highest quantity that you're gonna see in a batch of whatever you have, whatever product. So I always list it like that. Olive oil is actually the one that I use the most. So that's gonna be the first one. I also use sodium lactate for this, for all my soap making, if it's cold process or hot process. So you'll be seeing some sodium lactate later on. Here I am going to be mixing my lye water. Now I only mix my lye water once I know that my oils are already at a high temperature of 200. So when I mix my lye water, it's going to be freshly made and it's going to be also 200 or higher. So both my oils and my lye water are going to be pretty much almost the same temperature. Now, I did say that that's my only 5 ingredients. I do add at the very end, of course, my fragrance oil, my Greek yogurt, my colors, and if I do want to make let's say add some additive like almonds, or not almonds, oats, then I might add it later on too. But to make the soap, those are my 5 ingredients plus a lye water solution. Now, to start the process of mixing both the lye water and the oils, I use my stick blender on high, and you can see here the temperature is rising. It will rise even more once the reaction happens, but always mix until you reach medium trace. That's what I do. Once I see some squiggly lines on the top, that means I'm ready to cover and wait for my first reaction. With hot process, you always have to be close to your mixture. It might take a while for some. It might be very quickly that the reaction happens. So you want to be close so you don't want this to volcano out of the pot and spill all over your table. You can see here, I have a towel underneath this. This is 239 degrees, so this is super hot. The reason why I have a towel is because first, this pot is super hot and it gets hotter once the reaction happens. You see these bubbling up? I have no heat underneath this. This is only the reaction that the lye water does with the oils by itself. It's just breaking up the triglycerides and making what we call saponification. So at this phase, you have to be extremely careful not to get burned. That's why you always have to wear your protective equipment like your gloves, your goggles, your long sleeve, and be close to your batter. Be on top of it. Don't take your eyes away from it, because you never know when you're going to have a reaction. You never know when this is going to be bubbling up. And sometimes it just happens slowly, and sometimes it's just quick, like right here, super fast. And when you mix with your spoon and you don't mix hard enough, it can spill over. these little bubbles that you might see, those bubbles, when they pop, sometimes you get a little bit of soap on your hands and your arms, and that's why I highly recommend you wearing your long sleeves. Now you might see me covering the soap multiple times, and I'm just trying to maintain the heat until all the reaction occurs, until every phase is done, and until you get something like this, a golden, thicker, kind of Vaseline looking mixture. At this point, when it's cooler, I can add my sodium lactate. This will make my mixture or my batter a lot smoother, a lot manageable. You can add it to your mold easier and demold also easier. So I highly recommend your sodium lactate, because also this makes the bar harder. I checked the temperature one more time and I saw that it's a lot cooler. This is when I add my Greek yogurt. I never want to add my Greek yogurt at 200 or 190 because I don't want to cook the yogurt. I want it to mix with this soap mixture. And again, as I mentioned before in my other videos, the Greek yogurt, coconut milk, goat's milk is very beneficial for your skin. They add more moisture. They prevent dryness. It's amazing. The colors that I'm using are 3 colors from Mad Micas. This one, which is Braising Hussy and Voodoo. And I'm also using Mad Lips from Mad Micas. I mean Hot Lips, sorry. The only problem that I have with hot process and colors is that it's hard for the color sometimes to stick to all the soap. So you might get some discoloration when you mold this and then unmold it and cut it. You might see some red soaps or some white soap that didn't absorb color, and that's perfectly fine. This is why we call this artisan soap, homemade soap. We're not looking to do mass production or chemically soap. This is all natural soap. So having some imperfection, I think, goes with it. Another reason why I mentioned Greek yogurt and sodium lactate is like, look how easy it is to mold this. It is very fluid. You can still make some designs with this. So I highly recommend it. This is 24 hours later and I am doing my first cut, and this fragrance of pomegranate. I mean, I know why people just ask for this soap so much. You just want to eat this bar. That's how good it smells. It smells just like pomegranate. I love it. And this soap is very bubbly. I use it myself a lot. One of my favorite to use is this one too. And what I like about this is the ingredient that I use makes this soap very bubbly, very cleansing, not harsh at all, does not leave any irritation. And again, one of the reasons why I started making homemade soap is because store-bought soap just irritated my skin and my family's skin, and I learned how to do soap, and nobody wants to buy anymore in my house store-bought. They all want to use any soap that I make from home. It's just amazing. It's different. You should try it because it is a difference in your skin for sure. So as I mentioned before, the color that I used were 3 colors from Mad Micas. I don't think it has to do anything with Mad Micas colors. I think that hot process is unpredictable sometimes. Mixing when the soap is ready and when this is done, hot process at the very end of the process of you mixing, that is soap. Sometimes that makes it harder for any colors to adhere, but I think that gives it character, and that's what I like about making soap from home. You might think of a design, but any soap maker can tell you. You can have a perfect design and it might not go as you thought, but still, it comes out as a beautiful soap, just like these pictures. I hope you enjoyed, and till the next time.